Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. And this is the Next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 472. Wasn't sure I was going to be doing it, but here I am. The show has to go on, right? I made commitments to these manufacturers, and I'm a girl who really does try to do what she says she's going to do. Now, why would this be an issue? Well, if you follow us on Facebook or you visited our website recently, you will see that there is a notice that we have over about half our staff is out home sick for at least another good seven days. It's been 5 days now. I mean, it was bound to happen. I knew it was going to happen. And we've been in contact with every single one of them. I text them just little, we're thinking about you and get well soon. And is there anything that we can drop off to you? So I keep in touch with all of them, and everybody is getting better slowly. So it is what it is. I'll tell you, we learned how to pivot here. That is for sure. Well, we knew how to pivot, but once I realized that we were going to be losing half our staff, and you have to understand, we are a very small company. I mean, we are teeny, tiny. So losing half the staff is earth-shattering to us when your billing department is one person, it's B, and your customer service department is one person, it's James. You know, and your staff for the retail store, well, that's Claire and Renee, and they work part-time. So every single person here is so important in the job that they do. So when it was clear that we were going to be short-staffed for quite some time, let me tell you that 2020, that whole time came right back to me. It's like, okay, we're gonna pivot. Everybody who's still here, Michael Jr., James, Elena, Michael Sr., Claire, okay, we're gonna learn how to ship. We're gonna learn how to pack. We're gonna get it done. Oh my gosh, it was a whole training day of a day of, I know this really isn't your job and what you're used to doing, but guess what? You get to learn something new today. And in just a matter of a couple hours, everybody was up and running and was doing their new jobs. And when people came into the store, bless their pea-picking hearts, we went out, we said, because the retail store is still open, we went out and said, we are back here working, shop, if you need us, we're here. Just yell, we'll come get you, or we'll come find you. So I expect that we're going to be shorthanded for at least another week. And of course that means delays, but you can only do what you can only do. And when we are shipping #1 order at a time, I mean, we are shipping #1 order at a time, but we're the little engine that could. We just will not give up. We will not give in. And anything we can do to help, so when the staff does come back, they are not overwhelmed, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna get it done. So we appreciate all of your kind words. You guys have been so supportive. You have been so thoughtful. You've just been amazing, and you know how important these people are to me. They are my family. So the fact that you recognize that my heart is with my staff, then it was so overwhelming. Thank you. Now, today, I have got for you amazing product. I have got Creative Expressions. I've got Sizzix. I've got a product that was named something that it never should have been named. But we're gonna make some lemonade out of their lemon. Before I get there, I want to do winner chicken dinner, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the product that we have, and then we're going to get started. This is a technique-based class today. Not hard, but a lot of information. So I hope you stay with me. I hope you enjoy the class. Let's do our winner chicken dinner. And as for expediting these orders, we're going to try. I pared it down. In fact, I'll explain to you why I did what I did, just so we could expedite these orders. It won't be we're gonna do our very best, and I know that I know that you know that we're going to do our very, very best. And orders are going out every day. Just hashtag one order at a time. All right. So who's our winner? We've got 2 of you from last week on YouTube number 471, and it was changing your not so favorite paper into wow paper with the luster wax and the flakes and the Build-A-Scene dies from Find It Trading. Okay, our first winner of a $25 gift card to Scrapbooking Made Simple that is already in your online account. Go spend it. Have a great... Ooh, there is one bundle here that you would be able to get for $24.99. Oh, that retails for like $45 or something like that. Okay, wait, what? Okay, our first winner is Ann Zarling. Hello, Ann Zarling. Boy, you went on a great day to win. I mean, if you want some of the YouTube product, boy, do I have a deal for you. Okay, so Ann Zarling. Our next winner is Kathleen Brackett. Hello, Kathleen Brackett. How are you today? You are also a winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. Yay! You and Anne, both of you, like I said, you have a $25 gift card already in your online account. You don't have to do anything to claim your prize. No, that would add more work on our end. We're trying to streamline things right now, not take on more work, which is why I have one of the products I have for you today, because we needed to streamline. While we are so short-staffed, it's like, okay, we're gonna cut here and we're gonna focus there. And that's what we're gonna do today in this class. I kind of took a little bit away, I kind of added a little bit that made it easier for us to fill, and all at the same time giving you, wait till you see the deal. Oh my gosh, amazing. So Kathleen and Anne, have you paused? Have you called your best friends? Have you yelled for your fur babies to come and do the winner chicken dance with you? Because that's what it's time for. It's time for our winner chicken dinner dance. You ready? You're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, ka-choo. For you. Congratulations to the both of you, and I hope you enjoy whatever it is you get and that you make your heart happy. That's what it's about. Okay, so first off, I've got stamps from Creative Expressions. There's 6 of them, and I've got 4 stencils from Creative Expressions from their designer boutique collection, Darling. I also have product from Sizzix that I wouldn't necessarily have brought in if not for half the staff being out. And I want to talk to you about that, because we are a company that really protects the manufacturers that we do business with. We try not to have too many manufacturers overlap in any one type of product. There are amazing online stores out there that carry everything from everybody. Absolutely. And I get that. That is not us. We pick and choose who we love the best, so that when you ask me, well, what is your favorite this? Or what's your favorite pencils? Or what's your favorite embossing powder? Or what? I can look at you and be honest and say, we carry these brands because they are amazing. If we carried every brand, I can't love every brand the same, and they're not all going to be the same quality. So we really pick and choose who we do business with, as opposed to carrying everything from everybody. I need to be able to look at you and say, this is a company I trust. This is a product that does what it says it's going to do. It's reasonably, or it's priced, accordingly. But gosh, if I carried everything, how would I be able to look at you and say anything? You got to be loyal to somebody, or you're loyal to nobody. And Scrapbooking Made Simple really tries to be loyal to our manufacturers. So with that being said, I have a product here that I would not have normally brought in. It is alcohol ink markers. And when I get to them, I'll tell you why I would not have normally brought them in. Usually we have Aussie Andrews. I love Couture Creations alcohol ink markers. They're $1.99. They're amazing, amazing for that. I mean, really amazing. But with what's going on, I really needed to look and see, how are we going to do this technique? Ooh, Sizzix. You know what? I'm going to tilt down and I'm actually going to show you those first, just so I can explain why we have them and what we did to make it worthwhile having them. Okay, so it's me, Stacy. I'm going to tilt on down. I'm going to show you a couple samples first, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the product. And then there is one other product that we received in. So Ellis and Sizzix came there. Remember, there was Jen Long. Gosh, you're good, Jen. And there was, ta-da, it's Taylor. And there was Keeper of the Secret Sauce, Kevin. They came to visit me. And they brought in some product that they called stencil film. And I'm like, oh, stencil film, that sounds exciting. What is that? And I opened it up and I said, oh, you've got to be kidding me, right? They looked at me. I said, this is not stencil film, this is vellum. Why are you calling it something it's not? Hey, you can't stencil with this. If it's gonna tear, give me a break. So I said, oh, but it wasn't them who named it. I mean, let's be honest. Ta-da, it's Taylor, has nothing to do with the naming, nor does gosh, you're good, Jen, or Kevin of, Keeper of the Secret Sauce, Kevin. It was the UK Home Office decided what to call it, but it was wrong. But the good news is, because it's so wrong, and I'm like, oh, please. We need to do something about this, because that name's got to go. You need to call it what it really is, and we're going to use it as for what it is. Nice vellum, but vellum, not stencil film. Okay, hold on. I'm going to show you some samples. I'm going to tilt on down. I'm going to show you the product, and then you can understand. Like, I was so excited for that. When I saw stencil film, I'm like, what is this? What is this? Open it up, and I'm like, no, no, no. All right, let's tilt down. Good to see everybody. Bye. I can see them cringing right now in the United Kingdom. I really can. That's where the home office of Ellison is. It's in Welcome to Wrexham. It's in Wrexham, where that show is with Ryan Reynolds about them taking over the football league. Oh my gosh, I've been watching that. They're in Wrexham. So I'm like, ooh, if they ever come over, bring me something from Wrexham, because my husband watches the Welcome to Wrexham show. I think it's on FX or Hulu or whatever. Okay, here's one card. I want you to pay attention to my little fairy. Right? There she is. Simple, easy to do. There's my next card. Notice, same fairy, different background. Simple, easy to do. Look at that. Same fairy. Then my last card. You want to notice something? The fairy. It's the same one. I'm showing you 3 samples of the same stamp, so you can see how one stamp can change dramatically just by the colors you use, the paper you use, the techniques you use. Right? Pretty cool. Okay, so there's some samples for you. Let me get to the product. Okay, first off, let's talk the stencil film. So this is it. This is what it looks like. Came to me. I'm like, ooh, what's that? Oh, stencil film. I'm excited about that. We do stencils. How would we use this? And then I opened it up and pulled it out, and I'm like, this is vellum. They literally, their eyes just kind of dropped, their head kind of swooned down, and I'm like, this is vellum, not stencil film. Why are you calling it stencil film? And they're like, well, you could take a thin lid and you die cut it, and then you could lay it down and you could stencil it. And I'm like, yeah, no, no, if you die cut it and try to stencil it and you snag anywhere, it tears so easily. And why would it tear easily? Because it's vellum. So we have their stencil film for you today, which really should say vellum. It is not something that I would consider a stencil film. But we were able to negotiate a super great deal. Wait for it. The next thing I want to show you is their alcohol ink markers. Now, I looked at these years ago and I said, nope. Nope, 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 nope. First off, this is the only set they carry. These are the only 12 colors you can get. That's it. Can't buy replacements. It is what it is. Then when I opened them the first time, I'm like, okay, well, they've got a nice inkwell. I will tell you, there's a lot of ink in there. I will give them that. They did a really great job going with a larger inkwell. Yay. One side is a brush, or as a bullet tip. And I'm like, okay, that works. Bullet tip's fine. Then when I was looking at them years ago, I turned it over. I'm saying, what's this? I expected to see a brush tip, and instead it's a chisel. I'm like, wait, what? No. You can't do that. See, you gave us already a bullet. We need a brush. And they said, no, we went with a bullet and a chisel. I'm like, who uses a chisel? We're not highlighting anything here, people. And they said, oh, no, it gets used all the time. Okay, I believe you. We just don't use it all the time. Now, the colors are nice. I will give them that. They're kind of florally, and I really like the colors. I was happy with that. And I was happy with the ink, but I was not happy with the two nibs. And this is the only way they sell them. So we typically carry Ozzie Andrews alcohol ink markers at $1.99 each. But with the way we are right now and so short-staffed, I'm like, there's no way we're going to be able to put 108 markers out for sale and be able to expedite. I could try and pull 12 colors of his markers, but we'd have to bundle them, and we're so short-staffed. So I called, ta-da, it's Taylor, and said, you know, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this. And I think I want to use these with it. What can we do? And she said, well, let me get back to you. Let me work on it and see what we can do. Because we're gonna do a technique with alcohol ink markers and with the vellum. So in the meantime, fast forward a day, we're making samples, and I'm like, what are we using to adhere the vellum onto paper? Because adhering vellum onto paper is difficult because the vellum is translucent. It's not transparent, it's translucent. And you will see every little glue dot and gosh, there's companies out there that talk about vellum, that they have a way to adhere vellum without you seeing it. And Stacy tape will work sometimes depending on the background that you're using. So I'm going, how are we going to adhere this? So on the wall, we have this sitting on the wall on our store, retail. I'm like, I wonder if their adhesive sheets will work, because their adhesive sheets, it's not a tape. It's more like a sticky dot, one of my sticky dots, but it's a full-on sheet of it. My sticky dots won't work because you'll see dot, 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 dot through the vellum. You need something that's going to give full coverage. So we pulled this out and we played with it, and by George, it works. You can put vellum down and not notice where your adhesive is at all. So in the meantime, ta-da, it's Taylor calls me and she says, okay, I've got a plan for these two. And I said, wait, I want this too. She's like, what? She said, yeah, I need these three. What can we do for these three? Now the markers, they retail for $24.99, which is not bad. You're getting them for $2 each. That's a great price, not bad. The adhesive sheets, I believe you get 10 sheets and they're like $11.99. So in fact, they are. Look at that. I stole them from downstairs. So 25 plus 12 is 37. And then their stencil film vellum is $7. So we were at 25 and 12 is 37, plus 7 is 44? No, 7 is 41, something around that price. So $41 retail. I said, hey, could we do these for $24.99 and give them these for free to make it worth their while? for people who have never purchased alcohol markers before. I'm going to use them for just this technique. Once we're able to open up again, I'm going back to my, unless I find another purpose for them for that chisel tip. If I come up with something for that chisel tip, I'll use them again. But I thought, my gosh, if we could give them all the vellum, the adhesive to go with it, and the markers, even if they aren't interested in the stamps or the stencils, they have their own that they can use at home. This gives them everything that I'm going to do here today. She's like, well, yes, we'll do that. Wait. Yay! So you're gonna get, I mean it, wait, too close. So you're getting the pins, which are $2 a pin, same as Aussie Andrews. But then you're getting adhesive sheets, $11.99 of adhesive sheets for free. And you're getting the vellum for free. Thank you, Ellison. Thank you, Sizzix. Thank you, Tada. It's Taylor. Thank you, oh so clever, Karina. Thank you, Ellison UK, for naming it stencil film or whatever. Yes. Thank you. All right, so are you ready to play today? Me too. I'm gonna tilt on down. We're gonna get started. It's good to see you. I'm sorry, I don't know why that just makes my heart so happy to be able to do that price for you, but it just does. Okay, so to start with, let's look at the stamps. So I've got 6 different stamps from, whoa, same one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute, I'm missing one. Yes, I'm missing this one. Good to know. 6 different stamps from Creative Expressions. These are their designer boutique collection. That means that they bring in a specialty designer, and they have different designers each month. And I thought these were really actually very, very, very lovely. They're not so cartoony and charactery that you can't use them for adults, but they're sweet enough that you can still use them for children. They're kind of a nice combination of not too youthful, but not too grown up, so that it would cover all your fairy fans, whether they be 6 years old or 4 years old, or they be like me, 54 years old. So I've got those, and I think that that's where we're going to start. So I'm going to take, and I just want to stamp one for you. We're going to use the Violet Studio. I'm going to start super easy, and we're going to get more and more technique-y. Which one do I want to use? That one's pretty. That one's nice. So it's a clear stamp. It's polymer. Don't pay attention to the image on the front, because the actual size of the stamp is substantially bigger. So here's the packaging, but there's the real size of the image. So if you are a local independent retailer who carries these, you may just want to open up a set and stamp each one of them out if you can, or maybe flip them over and show them the other way, however, so that people understand that for their $11.99, it's actually quite a substantial stamp set. So let's peel it off. And I'm going to grab a block. This is an acrylic block. We sell it in a set by Couture Creations. You get 5 blocks. It's like $12.50. You get the little foamy to put it in. And The acrylic stamp just clings right to it, or the polymer stamp just clings right to it, the clear stamp. And it goes on and off and on and off. And if for any reason that your stamp no longer is clinging, then you want to just take some a baby wipe or some Dawn dishwashing detergent and wash both of them, let them dry, and it'll start clinging again. Chances are you have too many oils from your hands, or you were doing embossing and there's Versamark or embossing powder on the back side of it. Now, this is a brand new stamp, so there might be a little bit of a film on it. Again, you can take an eraser to get that off. You can do something called stamping off, which is what I think I'm probably going to do. I'm going to grab my Hero Hues ink. This is an India ink. This ink does not move with water or with alcohol-based products. So, and it gives you a beautiful black. It also will stain the stamp for the most part. I mean, depends upon how long you leave it on there, but it absolutely can stain the stamp. I don't mind my stamp being stained. It just makes it easier for me to see my placement. If the stamp is stained black, does that mean if I put red on here, it's gonna stamp black? No, it's not. Okay, so let's give a stamp down. 1, 2, 3. I'm not gonna do chest compressions. There's no reason for it. Although this is a slightly larger stamp. You can use a stamp press with it, absolutely. And I don't know how well I'm gonna do because there is a slight residue. Oh, not too bad. A little missing from the center. Let's try again and maybe I get a slightly better impression. This time I know I need to get those little center ones in there. I try to give, oh, I rocked it. I try to give the 4 corners the pressure so it all goes down at the same time. And again, a stamp platform will help you, or stamping upside down. Oh, so much better. Gosh, I didn't even have to push that hard. So look at the difference between the stamped images. This had a little bit of the residue. It's come off over here, and I bet if I stamped with it again, it would even be better than that. So I'm gonna do that one, and I'm also going to do do I want to do her? Sure, why not? So again, the image is always going to be larger than what's on the packaging. Just turn it over if you're at your local independent retailer to see what the actual size of the product is. I'm going to pull off my little toadstool. Let's put you, well, the girls would really be happy if I put it back where it belonged. Okay, let's put you there. And let's grab you. Let's grab you off. And I'm going to use this one, and I'll grab another piece of paper, and we'll stamp her a couple times. Just so we have a few to play with. I could use a much smaller block. So I'm going to pull the next size down. You always want to try to find the block that's the best fit, not one that's too big or too small. But that fits so much better. Let me ink her up just so you can see her. Okay, that fits so much better on that block than it does on this one. Leaving it on this one would give you an opportunity to perhaps rock back and forth, and you're trying to avoid that. You just want to get a nice, good impression. So you're trying to use the right tool for the right project, and that's same true with your stamp blocks. You don't want to make it too big of a stamp block because then you can run into, oops, just put my finger in it. Then you can run into rocking. and that can make a double print or smear your stamp. So I haven't stamped with her before, so let's give her a whirl. 1, 2, 3, and A, B, C, yeah. Not bad. Let's do it again and see if I can do a little bit better or if the ink comes through a little bit better now that a little bit of that residue has been pulled off. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, yeah. And up. Yeah, actually both of them are pretty good. Okay, so I'm just going to start, with maybe this one. And let's pull her off. And ideally put her back. And put her right there. Okay, good to go. So now I've got 2 different images to play with, right? I've got my little toadstool, I think is that probably what they're calling it. They are calling it mushroom with a view. Mushroom with a view. Very cute. Okay. Darling. All right. So now I want to color it. And how do I want to color it? Well, I've got a couple options. I could go in with these markers and color without any problem. There's not a tremendous amount of space to do shading and shadowing with alcohol ink markers. And there's no way for me to do any kind of shading or shadowing because I need at least 2 in the same color to do some shading and shadowing, or at least 2 that are going to work well together. And these were meant to use independently of each other. Unlike Ozzy Andrews, he has 108 colors and they will work well. You can make blends and you can make shadows and highlights. Here it's a little more difficult because you really don't have anything to blend with or to work with. These are meant to be used more independently of each other. So I'm going to grab the markers from Violet Studios. These are a Crafter's Companion product and we had them on sale a while ago. I think most of you have yours by now. I will tell you that they're very comparable to a Tombow marker. What's different about them from a Tombow is that Tombow has a brush tip and a bullet tip. These markers have a very, very fine brush tip. I mean a super fine brush tip, and then a regular brush tip. I can also tell you that the price is like a third of a Tombow. So they don't sell them open stock. They only sell them in kits or in packs and sets. But for the price they put them out at, they are wonderful. I want to let you know also that there is, so in the 12 pack, there's kind of a muted pastel-y set, and there is more of a brights primary sets, and that's 24 colors. But for the same price, or very close to the same price, you can get the 30 pack. The 30 pack has all of these and all of these plus 6 additional colors. So it may be that you want the 30 pack. And of course, we've got an I Want It All bundle for you for some of the packs that I'm going to use a little bit later when we get into the vellum. So I just want to let you know that if you're watching the YouTube and you're thinking about placing an order, just wait. Because if you get the 30 pack is in the bundle. And then the bundle is at such a great value, and I don't know if you're going to like the other markers. I just want to let you know. Hold please. So I'm going to play with the brights today, and I absolutely could go in and just color. These are just, it's a water-based marker, and you can go in and literally just color with them. So if I wanted to make my little mushrooms have a little red, I could certainly just go in
and color with them. And at the price Crafter's Companion put them out for, they are affordable. I know that a friend of mine has picked some of these up for Christmas presents for her grandkids who are, I think they're 8. I think they might be 8. So easy peasy to just go in there and color. You don't have to do anything more than that if you don't want to. It's entirely up to you. And fill in the spaces. The India ink isn't going to move. The black ink that I stamped with is from Hero Arts. And it absolutely is not going to move with water, with the ink here, with alcohol-based markers. India ink is pretty rock star. So if you're looking for a black ink that you're going to be able to use with all sorts of mediums, that's a really good one to pick. So having that super fine brush tip is handy on some of these very fine little details. So, I mean, you can just go in and color. It's not hard stamp color, but what if I wanted to do a little bit more? That's where these being water-based comes in real handy, because you're able to mix them with water and then palette paint with them so that you're able to get some shading and some shadow. So if I went in there with my red and I drew some red here, and I went in with some water here. This is water, right? Yes. The one with the little black is hand sanitizer. A little bit of water there. I can then come in with one of my brushes, just an inexpensive paintbrush, and mix some of that red with my water. And what that's going to do is it's going to dilute the color, and it's going to let me go in there and paint a very soft, now I'm pulling water and color off. It's going to let me go in there and paint a very, very soft red. So let's do some of them. I always want to pull a little bit of that water off, and the more diluted, the more water I use, the more diluted that red becomes. And let's just add some, so I've got some to play with. So I'm just coloring in some of my polka dots. Very diluted, just to give me like a base coat. There, I'm just about done. I might as well finish them, right? Okay, so I've got a very soft pink. With the markers, just to give you an idea, let me put that aside for right now. So the marker itself, and let me cut this down. The marker itself looks and if you use it as a straight marker, that's going to be the only color you're really able to achieve. But if you start palette painting, which is what I'm doing here, and taking a little bit of water and mixing it in, you're able to achieve very, very light hues or light saturation. Add a little bit more of the red, and then you're going to get a little bit darker saturation, and then add a little bit more of the red to your water, and you're going to get even a darker saturation, and add a little bit more red to your water, and you're going to get a darker saturation, and add a little bit more red to your water, And you're going to get even a darker saturation. So from one pen that started like this, I'm able to desaturate this all the way down to a super soft pink. This is the same marker, just using water to determine what color I really want it to be. It's up to me. All I'm doing is putting some paint, some marker, some ink, which is really what's in here. It's ink on my craft mat, a little bit of water, and it all depends on me how much water I want to mix in with my red. What hue am I trying to achieve? What level of saturation? And because it's the same pen, it's always going to look beautiful together because it's the same hue. The saturation is how intense the color is. The hue is the shade, is the tone of the color. And it's always going to look good together because it's the same marker. I could go even lighter at the top. So, when I'm using a stamp, I put down a nice light little image to begin with, and then I can come in and darken it up a little bit. A little bit of my red down, and I'm going to use less water. A little bit of water, a little bit of red. And then I can just blend it in. Little bits. Little bits. You can always darken the color, but it's far more difficult to lighten the color when you are using a water-based product. Easy peasy to darken it. And you see me constantly pulling off water to almost a dry brush effect. It's almost a dry brush. I'm constantly pulling off that color, and that's allowing me to get the gradation that I'm looking for. Almost a dry brush. And now you can see some shading happening. Haven't done anything up here yet, but I've done those, but I could make those even more intense. The darker I make it at the bottom, the lighter it looks at the top. So if I even add more color towards the bottoms, more color I add towards the bottom, the lighter it's going to look, the more shadow I have at the bottom, that the lighter the top, the highlight is going to look. It's all about a balance. And my paintbrush is almost dry. Just adding a little bit of hue, desaturation, a little bit of water, a little bit of ink. And coming in to add that color. Palette painting is not hard. You can sit here and do this in front of the TV set, stamp a bunch of images, and just give yourself the opportunity to play. If you don't try, you won't know, and you have to get the hand of it, the feel of it, How much water is too much water? How much water isn't enough water? And if you have no expectations of anything being beautiful because you're doing it in front of the TV set and you're playing, it'll give you permission to throw it away, to really try too much water and see what happens. Try not enough water and see what happens. So versus just a straight marker and then getting into some of that highlight and that shadow and that shading. Let's see. I've got the green here. And let's see what this green looks like. I don't know what we're gonna get. We're just gonna get it. I just want people to see that I could, if I wanted to, come in and, so I'm just using my marker. So I've got now some green stems going on. And I could go in with one that's a little darker and see if I could just add a little shadow to it. A little shadow to it just by going on top. But then I also have the opportunity to go in and palette paint. And I'm just going to do this all light, super light green, almost a yellowy green, because I've added so much water to it. And we'll go in underneath and underneath. So it's almost a yellowy. This color is the same color as this, but I desaturated it so much. Now, maybe I can go back in with that color again and not desaturate it as much, not use as much water with it. Keep it a little bit more true, a little more intense, and add a little bit to the bottom. And maybe a little down here. The lines tell you where the shading should be. The lines help tell you where the shading should be. Now it's getting a little darker. Let's try some more. And very little water, like just enough to get my, like a little bit of spit on my paintbrush, just so the bristles all stay together, and just keep adding. Now, what paper am I using? I'm using 100-pound Simply Defined cardstock. That's it. I'm not using watercolor paper at all. So we've really amped it up and given some shading and some shadow. And if I wanted to, I could use my darker green. Now I'm using the 12 pack, and in the 30 pack there might be a few more greens than this, but I'm just using the 12 pack of the Violet Studios, which are very similar to a Tombow marker, only a lot less money. So now I'm using this darker green down below. And I just keep layering and layering and layering until I'm happy. And you may be saying, oh, I'm happy with that. You don't, I'm good. I'd stop if I were you. Nah. You can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. This is not difficult at all. Not even a little bit. And this is just stamping. Where's my other guy? Where would he go? Here's my other girl. So what if I took my other little winged fairy, and what if I started with a little bit of yellow, because I'm a girl that likes me some yellow. A little bit of water. And I just do her whole wing in yellow. Whole wing in yellow. For you, that might be enough. You might be done. What if I want a little bit darker yellow? Let's add a little bit more yellow with a little less water going on. Okay. Oh, another fire truck coming by. We are in the main road of Canyon Country, California. So now I've got a little bit more yellow, a little bit lighter on the edges. And then what if I decided to come in maybe with a pink? I don't know, pink? I don't know. Let's see what pink looks like. And I put a little pink down and a little bit of water. I just run that pink right over the top. I think I can go way more intense. Oh. This is so simple. So I wanted to start out super easy so you could see that palette painting doesn't have to be difficult, and you don't have to use expensive markers to get really great results. Now I'm going to come back to these. I feel like I should I'm not. I will come back to these, but I'm not going to finish them. But I feel my OCD is saying, finish it, finish it, finish it. Okay, so that's using just the stamps, and again, some simple markers, inexpensive. The 30 pack is your best value without question. I can't remember if the 12 pack is $9.99 or $12.99. I think if they're $9.99, let's err on the side of, it's a really great deal. Let's say they're $9.99 a set, so this would be 20 bucks. I think the 30 pack is also $19.99. I do. I think the 30 pack is also $19.99. But I know we have the bundle that retails for $42.97 for $33.99. So it's up to you. If you have Tombos, you're good. You don't need anything more than that. But if you want a nice marker that will do your palette painting and allows you to blend and mix and tone and desaturate, then this is a great option for you. I don't want to put these away. Now they also have the glitter markers, and I've used these before too. Some of you may have gotten a free gift with your glitter marker. The minute we knew that the image was wrong, we changed it. But some of you may have received an extra little free gift with your marker because the image showed 12, but the actual set is 10. So SMS threw in there a little free gift for you along with Crafter's Companion just to make up for that little mistake. So the glitter markers are just that. They have more shimmer to them than a glitter. It's a marker that you want to shake, 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 and press down. You'll need to do that to get them started. And then once they're going, they're going. And again, relatively inexpensive for the set. I can't remember if they're $12.99 or $14.99. But it's definitely more of a soft shimmer than a lot of glitter. There's no question about it. Do they blend? Well, you can use them with water, absolutely. They're a water-based product too. So you can palette paint with them. The more water you use, the more it softens a little bit of that shimmer. They're a more translucent, transparent color. So it's not like a paint pen. And I suppose you could shake, shake, shake. I suppose you could. Throw a little if you wanted to shimmer your fairy wings up. And then you're just going to add a little shimmer to them. Up to you. What we're going to use them for today is a little different. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to keep those in handy. Put these back in here because we're going to be using them soon. Okay. So now we're going to get to the vellum. And it is vellum. I don't want you to be deceived. I would not be using this as stencil film. Will it die cut? Yes, absolutely. Can you die cut and then use the die cut? Yes, absolutely. Can you die cut and then use that die cut to try and stencil? You're going to have to be super ginger doing that because it does tear very, very quickly. Now, vellum is a kind of tricky little thing. It's paper, but not totally paper. It's got a plastic substrate to it, so it can kind of adhere, and because it tears like paper, but it's more non-porous than paper. I mean, with these pens, with the pens I've been using, these are meant to go onto paper, and they absorb right into the paper, allowing them to dry super, super fast. I mean, that's what this marker is supposed to do. It dries instantly on a regular, on any paper. But on a vellum it can be a little different. On a vellum, it's a little harder to get a dye-based ink to dry without smearing. A little more difficult. So for the most part, people will stamp on here with Versamark and throw embossing powder down and then heat set because that's not going to harm the vellum. Vellum does not like water at all. Not at all. Well, let's just... Water and vellum, do not mix and match. I would not be able to stamp like I did here on my vellum. It's still curling. And I didn't mist much. I mean, I can even mist less. Okay, that was one mist. And here it goes. It's got a life of its own. Vellum and water do not mix. Vellum in any kind of a wet medium do not mix. So I could not take and stamp my little mushroom with a view. Ha ha. It's actually very cute, Lizanne. Mushroom with a view. I couldn't stamp it and then come in and palette paint like I did here. You see what's happening, and then it just warps, and you're done. I mean, I suppose you could crinkle it and crunkle it and maybe die cut it and make some vellumy flower. I don't know what you're gonna do with it. But once it's wet, you gotta figure out something else to do with it, because you're never gonna get it flat again, that is for sure. So coloring on vellum has always been a challenge, because you have to use something that's going to dry super, super fast. And that's going to be your alcohol inks. If you know your ABCs of inks, then you know it used to be your CDPs of inks, now it's your ACDPs of inks. So inks are pretty easy to remember if you know your ABCs, because an ink that A is the first letter of the alphabet, Z is the last letter of the alphabet, right? A stands for an alcohol ink. A is the first letter of the alphabet. That means it is going to dry faster than any other ink out there. If you need something that is going to dry super fast and sits more on top as opposed to, especially on a non-porous, these are beautiful on non-porous materials. Vellum, plastic, glass, metal. You can use them on paper too, absolutely. But alcohol, dries the fastest. Then we have A, B, C. C stands for chalk-based inks. Chalk-based inks aren't around as much as they used to. Clear Snap used to carry a ton of chalk-based inks, and we'd edge our papers with them because they dried fast, really fast. Not quite as fast as alcohol, so you couldn't use them on a non-porous material, but on paper you could get it down and it wouldn't smear. Then we have D. So we have A, B, C, D. D is for your dye-based inks, and that's what all of this is. This is a dye-based ink. Your Mementos are a dye-based ink. Your Hero Arts are dye-based inks for the most part. Your Reactives, I mean, those are all dye-based inks and are water soluble. So these are perfect for regular paper because it dries almost as fast as a chalk-based ink. So you're not sitting there waiting, and there's no waiting, there's no smearing. You can stamp with it and immediately move on to your project. So you know your A, B, C, D, right? And then all the way at the end of the alphabet is P for pigment-based ink. Pigment-based ink is something that you would use with an embossing powder. So almost all your metallic inks are a pigment-based ink. And that's going to take a really long time to dry, because if A dries the fastest, and then B, we don't have an ink with a B yet, but we have alcohol and then chalk and then dye-based at the beginning of the alphabet, and a pigment-based ink is all the way at the end of the alphabet, that's going to take the longest time to dry. You're going to need to let it sit there and wait, sometimes overnight. Or a pigment-based ink is perfect for putting an embossing powder on top of and heat setting, because it stays wet long enough for that embossing powder to hold and then heat set. So if you don't have a Versamark ink, Versamark is meant for embossing, you can grab any colored pigment-based ink you've got, stamp with it, throw gold embossing powder down, heat it, and you're only going to see the gold. So if you know your alphabet, your A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you then know the drying time for your inks. A for alcohol, fastest. C for chalk, fast. D for dye-based ink, almost as fast as your chalk-based ink, perfect for paper. And then P all the way at the end for pigment, going to take a long time to dry. On vellum, you can't use water and you can't use dye-based inks. They are not meant to dry on a piece of anything that is not porous. This is not a porous paper. It's not porous. It's got a plastic into it. So for something to dry, it needs to be an alcohol-based product. Give it a second, and it's dry. I can't do that. I can't do that with this. I can't do it. It smears. It's supposed to. So, when you're using a vellum, alcohol-based products are the best. I'm going to stamp. I wonder if I can. I'm going to stamp on vellum. And then we're going to color. So I'm going to go through quite a bit of vellum today. I can feel that right now. I'm going to stamp on vellum, and then we're going to color. So I'm going to grab this one because we haven't used this one yet. Don't want to lose these because I know I want to use them later. I think I need a little shelf of things I don't want to lose. Oh my gosh. No, I already had a shelf fall. Maybe I don't need a shelf. During a YouTube, I actually had a 16-foot shelf almost fall on me. Yeah, that was interesting. And it was caught on camera. All right, so. There's the image. There's the actual stamp. Can you see the difference? If I put her on there, I don't know, when we ink her up, you'll be able to see it. She's at least twice the size of what the image is. Let's put her over here. And I'm going to stamp on vellum. So I've got my vellum. Now to do this, I can't use that India ink. The India ink, meh. What you're really going to want to use is a StazOn, and I'm using the jet black. So this is the midi size StazOn. StazOn comes in a full size like this. Ooh, Stacy. StazOn comes in a full size like this. This is a full size StazOn pad. This is a midi pad. This is like, I don't know, $5.99 or $6.49, and this is $11.99 maybe. So because you can get a re-inker for them, and we sell the re-inkers, I'm just as happy having the midi size. I'd rather have more colors in a smaller pad and get the re-inker than a bigger pad. Would you stay closed? Than a bigger pad. That's me. If you use black StazOn a lot, you may want to get a full-size pad. Entirely up to you. I just know that I want lots of colors. So for me, the midi size, because StazOn is not my go-to ink all the time because I only use it when I need to for the project that I'm working on. I want oodles of color, so I'm happy with the midi size, knowing, and they call it MIDI, M-I-D-I, knowing that there's a re-inker for every single color, and I just ring up my pad again. Easy peasy. So I'm going to stamp on vellum, and I do it a little differently, and everybody's got their own technique. Mine doesn't have to be the right technique, but it's not the wrong technique either. There's lots of people out there who do videos, and we all are creative in our own way, and we all come up with our own ways of doing things. I'm a girl who likes to see what I got. There's no question about it. Stamping this way, even if I'm on stamping this way, can be difficult when you're using a StazOn ink. StazOn tends to be sticky. It has this, because it is going on product that's non-porous, it's not seeping in, it's staying on top of your non-porous vellum or your acetate or your glass or your metal or your plastic. It's sitting on top because it has nothing to sink into. It's not going into paper. That means that it needs time, a little time to dry. It's an alcohol-based product, so it dries pretty quickly, but it's a little sticky, a little tacky, in the best way possible. So I'm gonna ink her up. I haven't used her yet, so we'll see what kind of image I get. Okay, she's well inked. Now I'm not going, and I don't need my gush mat for this, I'm not going to stamp in a traditional way. I'm not gonna do this. And I'm not going to use a stamp press either, because this is sticky. And I'll show you when we peel up. I'm just gonna put my paper right over the top of her and push down. And then I can take my finger and I can rub. And I can see where my ink is. I can see where I need to rub a little more. And because it's sticky, look, Ma, no hands. My vellum doesn't come off because it's sticky. So I can see, see, it already dried. I can see where I've got ink and where I don't. And this was my first stamp with her. So I can see that it's not probably the best of impressions. I didn't get a lot of ink in here, and of course it didn't help that I wafted it around to dry it, but I can see where the ink is. And then I peel off. Yep, see, I did not get the best impression, but remember, this is the first time I'm stamping with her. Let's do it again. So let me grab a sheet of vellum. Let me ink her up again. Will stays on stain your stamp? Yes, it will. Can you clean it? Yes, you can. You can put a little bit of blending solution or a solvent, but if you're working with a clear stamp, you want to be super quick about doing that. You don't want that solvent or hand sanitizer to sit on your clear stamp for any length of time. All right, let's see if I do any better this time. And again, I'm just going to drop her. I'm just going to drop my vellum right on top and then go in and press. Now I can already tell you I have a better impression. And I can see that this leaf is good and this leaf still has some spacing. So I just press down and bam. I can see where it's a little lighter and I need to just press a little harder. And then if I'm happy, and remember, it's tacky in the best way possible, so I don't have to tape it down. Pretty cool, right? And then I peel it off. And there she is on vellum. Now she's a much better image than the one I started with. And she's dry because it's alcohol based. So when working with vellum, you need to use the right ink for the right project. Now you're saying, okay, well, that's nice. Now what do you do with her? I know, I'm getting there. So this is where, and maybe I'll keep a piece of white, not that white because I want to use that. Like, if I don't come back and use that sheet of paper that I said I wanted to use earlier, I'm going to keep a piece of white handy so that I'm able to constantly show you. So I've got my image here. And this is where I'm going to be using my alcohol markers from Sizzix. Again, typically we would use Aussie Andrews alcohol markers. That would be the norm for us. But because I know that we are so short-staffed and to pull markers would be so difficult, and for this technique, you don't need a brush tip. And for those of you who don't want to spend a lot of money in alcohol markers, but want to color on vellum, this was a really great opportunity. The ink is beautiful ink. I just don't care for the nib. The bullet is fine. It's the chisel. I wanted a brush tip. And then these are the only colors they have. This is it. So if you want a base set of alcohol markers so you can color on vellum, you really can't do any better than this. You don't need any more than this. And if you get these, you're going to get the vellum and the adhesive for free during the YouTube. So wahoo kachoo. So what if I took, so I've got her facing this way. Now I don't want to color over the stays on. I don't want to take my marker and color over the stays on. Alcohol and alcohol do not mix. Alcohol and alcohol do not mix. Can you see I've wiped away the image by adding, and now I've got a little bit of black on here. It'll come off, that's fine. But alcohol and alcohol do not mix. No, not even a little bit. So how do you color her? You turn her over. So now you've got the back side. There's no ink on this side at all. None. Zero. All your ink is on this side. The big key is knowing which side is which. For me, that's the big thing. I have to look and say, okay, that's how I stamped it. I don't know if you want to make a little mark at the top, but even then, I don't know. That's the hardest thing for me, is to remember which side did I stamp on. So I just put a little tag at the top, flip the corners. So now I know to turn her over. On the back side, there's no ink at all. So you can go in there and without any trouble, you can color. Then I don't have to worry about staying inside the lines. The only line that I care about is the line, the border outside the flower. But I can go over all of those lines. I don't care. It's on the back side. I feel like I'm at Disneyland on the Jungle Cruise, and this is the backside of water. The eighth wonder of the world, coloring on the backside of vellum. Easy peasy. And you know what's also nice? If you accidentally go out, You just take a little bit of a blender pen or a little hand sanitizer with a Q-tip and you just wipe it off. No problem. Fix that mistake. So I'm coloring on the back side of my paper, so it doesn't matter that I don't have a brush tip. I'm fine with it. And when I turn it over, there's my color. I can see when I turn it over if I've missed any spaces. Is there any white coming through where I've missed? And if there is, then I just go back, flip it over, and color it. So I've got that started, and then maybe I go in with a slightly darker color. A little darker. A little darker. And then I can just take my lighter and kind of blend them together. All I'm doing is scribbling. If you can scribble, you can do this. Back side, front side. Back side where you add the color, front side where your stamped image is and your color is protected. I didn't accidentally come in here and color on my stamped image, because you do that and this is what you get. That's not what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. So back side. This might be a little minty, but that's okay. Just throw a little bit of down just to get me a starter color. I always like to start with a super light color. Oop. And then come back in with my darker color. Right? Super easy to do. Not hard. Not a lot of talent. You can do this. For her wings, what if I take a little bit of my yellow? How about my light yellow? Okay, chisel. I'm better with the bullet point. Chisel. Bullet point, I do better. I do better with the bullet point, I think. So a little bit of yellow in her wings. And then what color should we do? Should we try the blue? It's gonna make green. But what's the worst that it can happen, right? I don't want to do too much. So I just did a little bit there. Can you see right here? I don't know if it'll zoom in or not. And then I'll come back with that yellow. And just kind of blend that line out. Because remember, alcohol and alcohol don't mix. So this is going to help blend that line out a little bit. And she's basically done. I could do a little red on her dress. She's basically done. And then maybe the soft yellow for the little here. And bam! It doesn't take any more than that. It really doesn't. On Vellum, super fast, super easy if you're using the right tools. If you have Couture Creations alcohol ink markers, you already have all you need. If you have Copics, gosh, I don't know. Yes, you have everything that you need if you have Copics. Would I waste my Copic marker ink on this? Probably not. A sketch marker is like $7.99 now, maybe even more. I think I would just pop the $24 to get these or buy Aussie Andrews, and that way the ink is just as good, but the price, Copics are expensive. I don't know, I might just play with these and get the job done and leave my Copics for when I am truly wanting to do blending and shading and shadowing and highlights and I'm really coloring. This is it's coloring-esque. It's easy peasy mac and cheesy coloring. It's everybody can do this coloring is what this is. So let's take another set. What else do I have? She's real pretty. So I'm gonna put this aside because we're gonna come back to it. You keep saying that, but do you really mean it? I think I do. I hope I do. So let's peel her off. Beautifully made stamps. Beautifully made stamps. Creative Expressions does a beautiful job on their stamps. And then I'm pretty sure I know who beautiful. They do a beautiful job. All right, Vellum. Now remember, I'm stamping with her for the first time. So let me get a baby wipe. And let me just show you that after cleaning this stamp, it is stained. That was with the Stays On. Now, I don't mind that it's stained because even if I was going to go back and stamp it on regular paper, it's easier for me to see what I'm stamping and where I'm stamping. It's easier for me to position it. So if you look, let's get, let me just put her on this one. So pre-inked can be a little hard to see, but we do it all the time. Post-inked, a little easier for me to see. And of course I could clean my block. That would be a help. If I got in there and I added some, I generally don't clean anything. I'm a let's let it fly kind of girl. But if I went in there with some alcohol, hand sanitizer, I could certainly clean at least some of the ink. If I let it sit for a minute, it would all come off. See, it's all coming off. And then you really can see better. Elena's gonna go, what happened? Who cleaned your block? I did. Okay, so a stamp that is not stained. And you may take and stain your stamps on purpose. I generally do, because the older I get, it's easier for me to see her here than to see that stamp there. And it doesn't hurt the stamp. It doesn't harm the stamp. And I could put other ink on top of this and stamp and it would be fine. So let's take her off. And put her away. Kind of, sort of. And then let's put her on the bigger block because this one is too small. I haven't stamped with her yet, so it may take twice. I could stamp off just on paper if I didn't want to waste my vellum. And I could stamp with StazOn on paper. So people think you can't use StazOn on regular paper. Of course you can. Is it gonna blend like butter? No. It's alcohol based. It stays where you put it. So let's see. Oh, maybe I can go this way and get two. So let's see what I get. Yeah, you think so? And a little sticky. Nah, I didn't press too well in the center, but let's try again. Okay. Get that center. I really prefer to press at the four sides to get a nice even pressure down. But we'll try. Ready? Let's see what we got. Oh, better. First stamp, second stamp, and I bet my third one will even be better. Now, it stays on. It's on paper. It's okay. It will work. Can I then go in and color with the water-based markers? Yes. Can I color with the alcohol-based markers? No. Can I color with the water-based markers? Yes. Yes. Can I color with the alcohol-based markers? No. Water-based markers do not have the alcohol to mix in to make a mess. I can use a StazOn. Maybe that's the only ink pad you have. That's okay. I can certainly go in and start to color, and there's not going to be that smearing. There's not going to be that blending of colors. Okay, so now let's put her on. Let's put her on vellum. No, let's do it this way. So let's ink her up again. Lots of ink. Make sure you've got her well covered. This is the one I was playing with. I always forgot that little one right there, that little tuft of grass. All right. And drop my vellum right on top of her, and then go in. And it's not like you've got to press hard. You're just kind of going over the whole thing. And you will be able to see where you have not finished. You will be able to see where you have not finished over here. And then it's like, oh, yeah, look. Oh, there's her foot. Oh, my tufts of grass. Oh, yeah, there they are. Your best tool in your whole stash. Okay, looks good. Yeah, I think she looks good to me. And again, because it stays on. Look, Ma, no hands. And then you peel back. And there she is. You can do this. I know you can. Okay, I'm going to put her to the side and we're going to move to the stencils for just a minute, and then we're going to play with the stamps and the stencils. So not only is the bundle from Sizzix a great value with the alcohol markers, we haven't even got to this yet, we'll get there, and the adhesive sheets and the stencil film vellum. I will say and the pens are a really great value too. I'm not gonna say that they're not, but the other super great value, I think, and God bless them for doing it, is the stencils. These are slimline size stencils from Creative Expressions. They retail for $5 every day. That's their everyday retail. That is so amazing. I mean, that's such a great price. And so it's for all four of them, I mean, $20, right? Or for one of them, well, we put them on sale. So we've got them for $15.99. That means each stencil's $4. Slimline size stencils for $4. That's a serious wahoo kachoo, and I have to give it up. When credit is due, you gotta pay the piper. And Creative Expressions, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because when you're bringing out product like this at these kind of prices that allow, even if a customer can only get one, they can get one for $4. Holy smokes. I mean, you gotta call out when a manufacturer is really, on top of things and beautiful designs and great prices. You can't go wrong. So I wanted to let Lizanne know that it is valued and appreciated, and please don't raise your prices. Oh, I don't know. Do I want to use this one? Or do I want to use this one? Ooh, I don't know. Decisions. Maybe I use this one. I don't know. Okay, so stencils. 4 of them in this collection, and these were designed to go with the fairy stamps. Easy to use. Please remember, stencils have 2 sides. One side, the other side. So if you want a reverse image, all you got to do is flip it over, and you're like, I'm sorry, what? A reverse image. Flip it over. So I'm going to do that with this one, I think. And I think I'm going to start, I'll start a little bit off. Now these you do have to tape down. I'm not going to pull out my silicone mat and put some holes in them. I'm going to just go ahead and tape these on down. Okay. And again, I'm gonna stick with the ink that I brought to the dance. And that was today, it was Stays On. So I'm going to color this with Stays On because you can. Let me start with, ooh, yummy. One of my favorite colors of Stays On, it's cactus green. Yay. I'm just going to use a dauber. Probably should have used a new pad because that one's got a lot of blue in it. Okay, so I got some green going on. Then maybe I'll bring this one back over because it's more blue than anything else. You know what? I'll put that green on this one. And my blue Hawaii boy. Those were on back order for a little bit, but gosh, they're in now. Yay. And I'm just going to blend it up into that green. Yes, it stays on. That means you can also put it on acetate, plastic, vellum, metal, glass, sure. And then I think I will finish it with the super blue. Okay, done. Really pretty, right? Simple, easy, done. Then if I wanted to, let's put my lid back on. I could take a paper towel, move this over, and wash my stencil off. A little bit of hand sanitizer. Zoop, zoop. Now some of you would have taken another piece of paper, put your hand sanitizer on it, and then put the stencil on top of that and made a print. I know, I know. Okay, so these stencils, I love this one. Because you can just keep going with it. So this is where I started, and I could just move it over and continue, or I can flip it so that the pattern varies just a little bit, so it's more of a mirror image. Up to you how you want to do it, but you have the opportunity, so do what makes your heart happy. If I just flip it, or I slide it on over, just making sure that it's a slight overlap. The mirror lets you kind of get away with a little bit less of an overlap. So what if I tape that on down? Hello, tape. Don't forget, your stencil has two sides. Both of them work. Both of them work. So let's grab my green. And then maybe my blue Hawaii. And then maybe my dark blue, which is called Midnight Midnight blue. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! Now it's up to me what I want to do with this. Gosh. Do I want to do her? Or let's see if I can get her to stamp. Nope, too small. Where's my big block? Oh, right in front of me. My gosh, if it was any closer to me. Let's pull her off. Oh, we could put her down there. Okay, just because I can, I'm going to grab my India ink. Make sure she's really inked up. Because I haven't stamped with her before, I'm not sure what we're going to get, but no guts, no glory. And press. Let's see what we get. So I'm going to give her a minute because I didn't stamp before. I want to make sure that she comes out as best as possible. Ah, good enough. Yay. Easy peasy. Done. So stamping or stenciling on paper, no problem. What about on vellum? How would we do that on vellum? Well, we're going to go back to our trusty dusty stays on. And oh, that was a miscut. Let's go back to our vellum. And how about we do this one again? So tape it down. Tape it down. And our stays on. I just kind of blend the colors into each other. Blend them on down. And you can see it's kind of lifting the color because I'm doing alcohol on top of alcohol that's dried. So it's kind of lifting the color and moving it. No problem. Keep going. And then let's do the dark blue. it up. And we've now stenciled on vellum. This is your back side. If you turn it, you can now stamp on your top side. Huh? What? Wait. Hello? Wait. Stop. What? Yeah. You can now stamp on your top side. So since she's there, just put her up there, right? So when I stamp her, I don't want to stamp on the side that I inked. I need to stamp on the side, the top side, because I don't want to mix and match. Vellum has two sides. Oh, which side was it? No, it's this side. So I'm going to do it this side. So now I'm going to ink her up with some stays on. Make sure she's really good. I've stenciled. This is the side I've stenciled on. I can't put that against her because it will smear all my beautiful stenciling. I've got to flip it over and stamp on the top side. So let's decide how we want her to be. Maybe up there. Put her down. And just press. Oh, I don't know if I have enough ink on her. Yep, I say I don't have enough ink on her. See right there? I think I'm going to throw a little bit more ink down. Oh, I just smeared it. Darn it. All right, well, we're going to go for it anyway. If I go, oh yeah, I didn't have enough ink. But there she is. See, I could have used some more ink. But there she is on vellum. On the vellum. So pretty. What if I took, and I didn't want to stamp, I just wanted to use the stencils. Let's put that one there. And let's grab this one. Let's grab this one. Ooh, right? And let's grab some vellum. And let's tape it in place. Tape it in place, maybe here and there. Maybe the corners are better. All right, tape it in place. And let's use that green again, and maybe we'll use an emerald green this time too. So let's use the green, because I'm working with leaves and I'm just going in. And maybe we put a little bit of the emerald green in there, a little darker green. Maybe a little bit of a lighter on top just to blend. And then how about the blue Hawaii? Whoa. Oh my God. Oh, what'd I do? Okay, how about that? And I'm gonna put a little tag just so I know which side I stenciled on. Look at how pretty is that? But I said I didn't want to use any of my stamps. I want to use another stencil. Remember, vellum has two sides. Flip it over. Now, what if I grab this guy? Oh! I grab this guy. Oh! That's my happy. Ooh! And what if I put him there? Okay, let's put him there. And what if I grabbed my black stays on? And went right in over the top. Can't do it on the other side because you'll just get a hot mess. But I want to use vellum. Does that look good? Ooh, I think I'm going to add a little re-inker to this. Little re-inker. Just put some on. Give it a second to absorb in. Oh yeah, look at that. Holy smokes, artichokes. Okay, re-inked. Look at how dark that is. Whoo, that makes my heart happy. Wowie kadowie. Let's go back over this one a little bit now that it's been re-inked. Oh yeah, that looks good. All right. So now I've stenciled in black. Let's see what we get. Right? I could trim it down. I'm just following the line of the leaf stencil. I took that, I think they're calling it a dandelion, and I kind of had it off the side just a little bit. That way it didn't cover up all my leaves. There we go. Vellum is easy to use when you're using the right product. Easy to use, and it has two sides. Now, what if we wanted to do the same thing, but different? You're like, but wait, what do you mean the same thing, but different? And look, oh, that might be too close in color, right? Oh, but that looks good. Okay, let's do the same but different. Ooh, I think I'm gonna open up another one of these because I don't want to, yeah, I think I'm just gonna open up a second one as opposed to cleaning this one. That might take me a little bit of time. You know what, while I'm here, I'll just, and I think I'm gonna let that just sit for a few minutes. Don't spray this, Stacy, that's not smart. I think I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes so then I can clean it and wipe it down really easy. Is it gonna stain the stencil? Yeah, it might. But an unstained stencil is an unloved stencil. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit. And let's just open up another one. Okay, and then I think I will use this one again. It's the one I just used. I think I'll use this one again, but I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to put this down and I'm going to tape it. So I said we're going to do something almost identical. We're going to wash, rinse, repeat, but the way we're going to do it is a little different because I'm going to use a different color for the top. So tape, tape, tape. Tape, tape, tape. Tape, tape, tape. This time I'm going to play with white stays on. This is cotton white stays on with a touch of gold luster wax. This is cotton white stays on. When you buy this, this is how it's sold. It kind of looks like the glue we sell. This pad is dry when we get it. When you get it, all your ink is here and your pad is dry. It's going to come with one of these little like squeegee things, and it's going to come with a little top plate that you don't want to lose. Please do not take all of your white, cotton white stays on and empty it into your pad the very minute you get it. You only use as much of this as you need for the project you're doing. Every time you need to do something with it, you're going to add this, and only enough to do what you're doing, and then you're going to put it away. And then the next time you need it, you're going to add this, but only enough for what you're doing, and then you're going to put it away. This is not something you empty onto the pad and then think, oh, I don't know, 3 months later you're going to come back and it's going to be fine. No. So this is a cotton white. I only want to use what I need. And I'm going to keep it kind of in the center. I don't want to spread it all the way out to the edges of my pad. That's a waste of good ink. Okay, I'm going to take a dauber. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to pick up that color. And I'm going to come in and put it down. In fact, if you know this is what you're going to want to do, you could take your ink and just go straight to your dauber. Up to you with what you're most comfortable with. But I want to stamp in white. I can't use Hero Arts Unicorn. That's a pigment-based ink. It will not ever dry on my vellum. Now I could use the Unicorn ink if I wanted to stencil and then throw white embossing powder over the top of it. Sure. So I just want to get in there and I'm kind of spouncing it. You think I got it all? A little goes a long way. You can always add more. So I put just a drop. Just a drop. You can always add more, but you can never put it back in the bottle. Okay, I think that's probably enough. I'm hoping. We'll see. Time will tell. I'm going to put my little lid back on. I'm going to put my little squeegee back in. I'm going to close it up. And I'm going to put the lid on. It's not a re-inker. It is the ink. And then for the stems, maybe I come in and do a little green. Okay. So there's my image. Now, I want to give it a second to dry. So while it's doing that, because that white is thicker than a typical StazOn, that's why it's sold the way it is. That's why it's packaged the way it is. It's a little thicker. Now let's just wipe this off and clean up my stencil. Bam, done. And the white is going to take a little longer to dry, and I put it on a little thick. Oh yeah, I did. But no guts, no glory. Let's go for it. Let's grab a piece of paper just so I can see what I'm doing. Two sides. Vellum has two sides. I've got I can clearly tell which side I've inked on. No question about it. I'm going to put that right down. I'm going to put the inked side against my paper. Put the inked side against my paper so that the side that I haven't applied any ink to is facing me. Do I want to put it down so maybe I put it down here so you can see it a little better. Maybe I put it here. Maybe you can see it. I think you can see that a little better. All right, let's see if that'll work. I think you can see this better if I do it this way. I'm going to tape my paper down. Now remember, teaching takes longer than doing. If I was doing this in real life, I'd be done by now. But teaching, it takes a little longer than doing. What if I had a piece of paper here. That way maybe I could hold it up for you. What if I taped it to here? There, now I can hold it up for you. Okay, so I've got my inked side down against my paper. No ink on this side. Now I'm going to take my stencil and lay my stencil over the top wherever I want it to be. Because I can see my white image through my stencil, I can line my stencil up anywhere I want it to be. If I want to only have part of that flower, dandelion, I can do it right off to the side and we'll trim that off. If I want the whole thing, I can put it in the center. It's up to you because you can clearly see where your image is. So tape it down. And maybe putting it against some darker paper will be easier for you. Because now what I need to do is I need to take my little spouncer and I'm going to spounce everywhere I don't see white coming through. I don't want to go on top of the white because that white isn't fully opaque. Not like the black. The black ink you can't see through. Black ink, the other colors, don't come through. The black absorbs all of the color. But the white is light, it's fair. And if I put all of my colors down on the back side of the white and I flip it over, chances are you'll be able to see the leaves. And I don't want to do that. I want to go around. So I'm going to get into my green. And I'm just going to hit my vellum all around. So we're almost masking it all around the white. Gets a little behind the white, that's okay. I'm just trying not to go too much behind the white because I really want that to be clean and crisp and clear. And I just took this green all the way down. And now I might add some blue. Hello, other spouncer, where'd you go? Oh, you're here somewhere. Oh, I used it for the black. Blue? Maybe this time I don't ombre it. Blue. And then maybe the dark green just a little bit. Do you even think I need it? I don't even think I need it. Okay, I've stenciled the back side. So when I peel it off, that's dry. And when I flip it over, now I've got that pristine white, beautiful image. Oh yeah, I've got that beautiful, pristine white stencil on vellum, so I'm able to keep the translucency. Not on solid paper, on vellum. Let's trim it out. all about using the right tools, the right project. Paper has two sides. Vellum has two sides. Stencils have two sides. Right? And having that translucent vellum just adds another layer to it. It's not harsh, it's very soft. And stenciling on the back, gosh, you could even turn it over if you prefer. You have options. Which side you like better? You decide. But then we have all of these. Oh, and then, okay, so let's do one of these. So let's get to her. And oh yeah, this is the side I inked. So what if I maybe just go around her a little bit? Do I want to stencil her? Maybe all I want to do is kind of just go around her. So this is the side I inked. I can clearly see it's much darker. This is the side I'm just gonna go ahead and maybe just ink kind of around her. Should have done the blue on the top. So we'll just fix that. Maybe I just want to ink around her. Maybe I don't want to stencil her at all. And I think I got a little bit of purple. Let's take the one off the white. And let's do maybe a little bit of purple. A little bit of the blue. This is where we're going. This is where we are. Oh, wrong color. There we go. Oh, too bad, so sad. And then maybe, maybe we take a little bit of alcohol, hand sanitizer, and we just do a quick little, a couple big drops. Because what that's going to do is it's going to react with the StazOn. Kind of looks like oxides a little bit. Just a little bit. Some big drops.
And let it react with the StazOn. Can you see it?
I don't even know if I'll color her.
How simple was that?
I suppose what I could do is bring those glitter markers back. Look at, I love how it has the
little droplets.
You can add as many or as little droplets as you want. I suppose I could bring the glitter markers back. And what's cool about the glitter markers is they also shake, 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 shake. They also will dry. It's cool that they dry on the vellum. Did you know that they dried on vellum? I didn't. I was just playing away and let's see what happens and what's the worst that can be. It's only paper. Now they don't dry as quickly as the StazOn does. But they do dry.
And they do give you the shimmer. The little shimmer and glitter.
So I suppose I could take her and on the back side, yep, on the back side, I could come in and put a little bit of a maybe a little shimmer on her wings. That doesn't show. I need something to show. Look at that, right over the StazOn. Isn't that amazing how some inks, you would think all inks are the same, and they're just not. If I was doing this with another alcohol-based product, we'd be done. We'd be over it. I'd have a hot mess. But because I'm using a product that is more water-based, and yet it dries on my vellum, I'm able to color in and have a shimmer look to it. That's very cool. It really is very cool. And it doesn't hide, it's not opaque ink, the glitter. So it's not going to make the image disappear, my stamped image. If this was a paint pen, like a Marvy paint pen, yep, you wouldn't be able to see any of my image anymore. But look at this with the glitter. I'm able to just go right over the image, right on top of it. Keep the integrity of the image, of the stamp. and yet add shimmer to it. I put my little drops. Oh, that was a bad cut. Look at her on vellum. Looks pretty good, huh? And I've got the pretty, and my shimmer is dry. Okay, how are we gonna put her down? Okay, let's talk about that. We haven't talked about that. How are we gonna put her down? So normally you would take some kind of an adhesive and run it underneath. The problem with vellum is that you can often see it. To run an adhesive underneath, you'd want to put it under someplace where it's opaque, where you're not going to be able to see it. This is pretty translucent. That's where these come in. So this is the Sizzix adhesive sheets. There's 10 per pack. They're $11.99 each. You're going to get them for free when you buy the alcohol markers, or we'll have them on sale open stock. You can absolutely get them open stock. They are different than a sticky dot because this is, peel here, I did. This is an entire sheet of adhesive. It's not like my Stacy tape where it's almost, this is sprayed on or laid onto this sheet. With my tape, you can, hello my tape, where did you go? Thank you very much. Hello my tape. With my tape, you can actually see that it is tape. With the adhesive sheets, you cannot do that. This is sprayed on, laid on, however they get it down. But what that means is that you will not see any of the adhesive. So if I lay it over here, now this isn't necessarily what they intended it for. What they intended this for is for you to die cut your, or put this on the back of cardstock, die cut it, and then make an instant sticker. Sure, you can do that. I'm always going to keep the liner because wherever my piece of vellum is, that's the only place it's going to pull the adhesive. I still have all of this to use, and you can see it. And now you have put down, my sticky dots will not do this. You'll see my sticky dots through them. You've now put down your vellum without seeing where the adhesive is. Right? You got your shimmer, you got your background. I sprayed some little dots on there. What if we do this one? So I'm gonna save that because I've still got that piece left to use. And what if I come in with this one and I do the back side just so I can see what I'm doing. And let's make sure, let's start with the right colors. So let's change it a little bit. Oh, I don't know if I have any more. I don't know if I have any more of my little foamies. All right, well, let's give a whirl and see what we get. What color am I gonna get? Not so pretty. I've got purple on here and I'm out of my little foamies. What if I took my marker? I'm using the chisel. You never know. I'm trying. And I just kind of go a little bit around her. Because I want a lighter yellow at the top. All right, I found a use for the chisel. And then what if I come back in with, let's try and get some orange in here. So it's not as purple. I put some orange down. And that yellow again, kind of move them into each other. Where there's a will, there's a way. And then maybe the red. And then maybe back to my orange just a little bit. And then maybe a little bit of my yellow. Oh, that's picking it up. All right, well. I need it to blend. I need one more little sponge. One more little sponge. Oh, I'm taking it off. All right, well, I'm going to blend it in. Blend, blend, blend. Oh, yep. See, look at, the more I add, the more I take off, because alcohol and alcohol do not like each other. All right, we'll put a little bit of the red up there. Where did I put my red? I should have left well enough alone. When in doubt, start again. right, how about a spounce as opposed to a... I was not going to give up. You're like, yeah, we know. 5 minutes later. I'm a girl with a plan and a mission. All right, now let's just take a little bit of our big drops. Big. And let's let it work. Is it gonna... And make it move. And then let's see if we put it against some paper, what we get. And we trim her out. Of course, I took off the green on the leaves by going over with the red. So remember my leaves were green at one point, but then I kept adding the red. Let's just go back. Go right on top of that red and make it disappear. Let's make them green again. Let's make my stem green. No worries, no problem. There. Oh, better. Better. Now let's put her down. I wonder what she would look like against like a really soft yellow. No? Better? Okay. I think the red will be too dark too. Yeah, you don't even see her against that. So we'll keep it against the white. Let's grab another piece of our sticky from Sizzix, the adhesive sheets. It says peel here. It means it. Peel there. That way you have a place to grab from. Open it up. Don't throw your liner away. Let's put her on down. Close her up. Give a good press. And because this comes up all as one piece, you could do it if you were using Stacy tape and you had a wider roll. That would work too, because you need the solid piece. You don't want little pieces of tape coming through. So if you had a 5 or 6 inch roll of Stacy tape, you'd be able to use that too. And just do the exact same thing. Peel her up. And off. Put down my liner so I save the rest of my sticky. And let's put her down. Oh, a little black from my fingers came off, but that's okay. Not the best freehand. Oh, really bad freehand. Wow, almost nothing. Stacy. Talk about a tiny mat, but that's okay. Then we'll grab this one. Wahaha, we made it. So I cut my mat really bad, so I made it super thin. I mean crazy thin. And now that I'm just paper onto paper, I can just use some Stacy tape. You would do a much better job of taping down than I am. All right. So we did a lot. There, like it never even happened. Now that white is just a little extra matte. Wahoo Kachoo. There. Now, do you remember when we started? Way back here, right? We started way back here. And then we moved into stenciling and we moved into playing with the vellum and stamping on vellum and the best way to stamp on vellum. And how vellum has two sides. Paper has two sides. Stencils have two sides. And all the different things, I didn't get back to this one, and all the different things that can be done with them. From just basic coloring using the Violet Studios markers that are so inexpensive, to stepping it up a little bit and playing with the alcohol markers. Again, we're using the ones from Sizzix because they work and they're affordable and I don't have to bundle them and I don't have to get them from Australia. And with the time constraints that we have, with the amount of staff that we have, I thought that was the best thing to do. So if you are not an alcohol ink marker person, yet you liked what we did here, coloring on the backside of vellum, the eighth wonder of the world, move over, what is it, Schweitzer Falls at Disneyland, then this is an affordable pack. They're the same price as Aussie Andrews. They're $2 a pin, only this time you're gonna get the adhesive sheets and you're gonna get the vellum as a free gift. And that's a Wahoo Kachoo. So we played with so much. Remember this. This was done palette painting with these. And how if you know the ABCs of ink, or if you know your ABCs, you'll know the ACDPs of ink. Just remember how ink goes in order. Alcohol always dries the fastest. Chalk is the next fastest. Dye, which is the most common ink in the industry, dye dries almost as fast as chalk. And then pigment is all the way down the alphabet, so it dries the slowest. As long as you know what inks you have, then you know, do I use it for this? Or do I use it for this? Or do I use it for that? You choose. Learn your inks and then you know your techniques. All right, so holy smokes, artichokes. Oh yeah. So what do we have on sale? Okay, so we have the individual marker sets. There's the I don't know what they're calling these, the muteds or the pastels. These are on sale. That's one set. Here's another set. Or if you're just looking to get the markers, my recommendation is to get the 30 pack. Because it's the same price as these two, only you get more. However, if you liked the glitter markers, then I recommend you get, and you like the dual tip markers as well, then I recommend you just go ahead and get the bundle. The bundle gives you the fine tips that I didn't even use today. Gives you the fine tips. Oh, they've got this packed in there well. It's got the 30 marker, the fine tip, and the glitter. All for an I Want It All. Then we'll have all the stays on and the re-inkers on sale. Now, bear with us. We're doing our best to keep up on stays on in stock, but sometimes they go out of stock and it takes time to manufacture it. Everybody is manufacturing as fast as they possibly can. So we've got a good quantity of it, and I'm hoping that we have enough for everybody. I'll also put the opaque white on sale, the cotton white, because everybody, for doing glass, plastic, acetate, vellum, the white is amazing. So that's all on sale. Yay. Then we've got the stamps. So I did an I Want It All for just the stamps. They are $11.99 each, I believe, $11.50 each, and then we have them on sale at 20% off and an I Want It All for the whole bundle. Then I did the stencils as an I Want It All. And then I did the two of them together as an I Want It All. So if you just want the stamps, you can just get the stamps on an I Want It All. If you just want the stencils, you can just get the stencils. If you like both of them, you can get them both on the I Want It All. And we did the same thing with the Sizzix product. If you just like the markers, I'm going to sell you just the markers. Why you would buy the markers and not the bundle, I don't know, but it's up to you. If you're going to buy the markers, you might as well get the free gifts, right? So we'll have the markers open stock if you just want the markers. We'll have the vellum open stock. It is not stencil film. We'll have the vellum for you open stock if you just want the vellum, and we'll have the sticky sheets. They're adhesive sheets that does vellum beautifully if you just want the sticky sheets. Or if you want the bundle, it's $24.99 out the door. Holy smokes, artichokes. And that's why if you were our winner chicken dinner, this was the bundle I'm thinking about. You could get this whole thing for your winnings. Yay! Okay, samples. You're like, finally, it's almost 3 hours. I know, who knew? All right, I showed you this one in the beginning, and remember, there's that stencil. Hello. Beautiful, right? And it's on vellum. It's got a piece of gray cardstock behind it. Beautiful, right? And I showed you this one in the beginning. So this is the same stamp, but 3 different ways. And here, that one. Isn't that beautiful? Then, look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? The stencil, the stamp, the glitter markers. I didn't even use this stencil today. This is probably my most favorite stencil. And I should have pulled it out and I didn't use it. Oh, Stacy. If you want to talk about a stencil that you can flip-flop, well, this one is it. Here you've got it coming in one way, flip it over, and now you've made a beautiful little arch of these. This is a great stencil. And look at her. In white. So this is white embossing powder. And again, this is vellum. This is all done on vellum and backed in white. We cut an oval and we taped the oval down to the paper, and then we stenciled. So we made a mask out of the oval and then put her on. Beautiful. Again, on vellum, you've got the glitter going. You've got stenciling down the side. Lots of embossing powder here. Oodles of embossing powder. So inked up with Versamark and stenciled with Versamark, and then a gold embossing powder thrown on top, and off you go. Again, cut an oval as a mask, put it down so all the stenciling could be done, and then put her in. And look at her sparkle and shine. And this is so soft and so delicate and so beautiful. Can you see her in the white with the stenciling of the dark blue in the back? She's on the vellum. The stenciling is on the ivory. It's so subtle and so sweet. Okay, let's move over here. Again, there's the stencil that I didn't even use, and all you have to do is flip it, and now you've got them coming in at both directions. So cute. Easy peasy. You can make it as easy or as, this is just stamped and heat embossed, and this is stenciled, colored, fussy cut. You decide the level that you want to play in on that day. Stencil on black. Here she is on vellum. And this is just what I did. This is just blending the stays on all the way down. Look at how cute. It's up to you. What inks do you want to play with? What techniques do you want to try? When are you ready to give a whirl to something you haven't tried before? When you see just how easy it can be and how achievable it is by every level of crafter. There was nothing special in here. I didn't do anything difficult. And then Claire did a layout. I don't know when she had time to do a layout, but Claire did a layout. So she's stenciled all the way around. She's stamped here, just right on the paper. Colored it in, stamped right on the paper. And then a couple mats. Have no idea when she had time to do this, but bless her pea picking heart that she did. And then the ones that I did. Oh, that's a bad cut. Wow, is that bad? Oh, Stacy. Like, we're supposed to be done, Stacy. You're not cutting now, are you? Yeah, I kind of am. I'm so sorry, but that was just horrific. Wow, that was bad. Gosh, I hear nothing going on outside. It's so weird to not have everybody here, but yay, the ones I did. All right, you guys. It's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, 3 hours later, but hey, what's 3 hours between friends, right? 2 full-length movies, the line for Rise of the Resistance at Disneyland, how long it takes to do all the laundry. What's 3 hours? So where are you going to find all this great product? Well, most of this you can find at your local independent retailer. There is nothing exclusive here, nothing that you can't find at a mom and pop shop. So if you can find it there, get it there. They may not have quite the pricing we have, but that's okay. Support them anyway. If not, you need to shop online. We always appreciate you shopping with Scrapbooking Made Simple, keeping in mind that we are short-staffed by
at least over half. And so we will get these to you as quickly as possible. Will they expedite? Well, we're going to do our very best. Mr. SMS is shipping. I'm shipping. Elena's shipping. Michael Jr., SMS guy Michael Jr. is shipping. But we're not fast. But we'll get it done. All right, you guys, it's me. I'll see you next week. Thanks for being with me today. I really appreciate it. Bye, everybody.